Welcome to Time to Buy or Sell by Kurt Realtors Sierra Pacific Group. Today we will be discussing the local community and local life in Natomas. And well, I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
So the mission of today's deep dive is really to unpack all these local guides, community forums, transit data, and of course the summer 2026 market reports. We want to show you exactly what it's like to live in Natomas today.
Right, because Natomas it's a fascinating area. Urban planners actually refer to it as a true edge city.
An edge city. What does that actually mean in practice?
Basically, it's a highly practical California suburb that has developed so much of its own retail, business, and entertainment. So you don't really have to rely on the traditional downtown core anymore.
Which is wild because it's perfectly nestled right between downtown Sacramento and the airport.
Exactly. And the community vibe there is very family-oriented. It's highly diverse, and people are always talking about the outdoor life.
Oh yeah, like biking the levee trails, right? Or heading down to Discovery Park.
Yeah, and you can't forget North Natomas Regional Park. That place is a massive community hub with, farmers markets and those big water features.
It sounds like a perfectly designed ecosystem where you rarely ever need to leave.
Yeah.
But I do have to ask, with all this master planned convenience, do you sacrifice some of that organic neighborhood charm you'd find in an older historic grid?
Well, yeah, that is the real trade-off. You aren't getting the historic architecture or the organic block-by-block walkability of Midtown.
Right.
But what you get instead is just incredible space. Your errands are highly predictable, and you get phenomenal freeway access.
But that freeway access is kind of a double-edged sword when it comes to the layout, right?
Yeah.
Because Interstate 80 physically slices the city in half.
It really does. It creates two completely distinct neighborhood identities.
Right, north and south.
Yeah.
Let's start with South Natomas, since that was developed earlier.
Yeah, so South Natomas has a bit more established character,
Yeah.
and because it's older, it offers more approachable entry prices for buyers. Plus, you get an ultra-fast commute to downtown.
Oh, the commute is unbeatable, especially for downtown or airport workers. Looking at the transit data, the SAC-BRT Route 142 Airport Express bus runs every 60 minutes.
And it's, what, like $2.50?
Yeah, exactly, $2.50. It is incredibly cheap and efficient.
And then, you cross over to North Natomas, and it's totally defined by that 1990s housing boom.
That's where you find all the newer stuff.
Right. Heavily master-planned communities centered around high-demand schools like Inderkum High and Natomas Charter.
I was reading that Natomas Park is basically considered the premium suburban crown jewel of the whole region.
Oh, definitely. So many buyers want that polished, master-planned feel.
So how does that north-south divide play into the summer 2026 housing market? Because the reports show things are stabilizing.
Yeah, we aren't seeing that exhausting peak frenzy from a couple of years ago. Homes are averaging about 33 days on the market now.
Which means buyers finally have choices and a little breathing room.
Exactly. Buyers are actively hunting for that spacious feel of the north, but sellers need to recognize that buyers finally have some leverage today.
So what should sellers be doing to adapt?
Well, to make deals happen right now, we're seeing sellers offering things like closing credits or rate buydowns.
Let's clarify that for a second. A rate buydown is basically when the seller pays a lump sum upfront to lower the buyer's mortgage interest rate for the first few years.
Spot on. It makes the monthly payment much more palatable for the buyer, and it helps the seller close the deal without slashing their listing price.
That makes a lot of sense. But buyers have practical due diligence to do too. Because Natomas sits in a basin, checking FEMA flood zones is mandatory.
Oh, absolutely. And you have to verify parcel-specific airport noise given how close the runways are.
Right. Looking at this data, moving to Natomas right now feels a bit like buying a high-performance car. You get all these incredible perks, but you really need to read the manual on the local environment first.
That is a perfect analogy. The infrastructure is solid. There have been massive levee upgrades to protect the basin, but doing that homework simply ensures you know exactly what you are buying into.
It's all about being informed.
Yeah.
Well, before we wrap up, I want to leave you with a final thought to mull over. We're seeing massive new developments on the horizon.
Oh, huge ones, like the Panhandle and Airport South annexations.
Exactly, which are set to bring thousands of new units. So as the basin fills out, how will Natomas evolve its tight-knit edge city identity over the next decade?
It's going to be a fascinating transformation to watch.
Thanks for listening to Time to Buy or Sell. If you have questions about real estate in Natomas, we're here to help. Reach out to us at Kurt Realtors Sierra Pacific Group. That's Kurt Realtors online at WRSPD.com or call 916 619-1971.